15 of their 23 in the final 2 frames, and the valiant effort goes to waste as they lose to the Miami Heat 110-96 to end up at 3-3 on this road trip. But let's be real. We told Dub Nation they'd be 3-3 on the 6-game road trip. Everybody would have taken it. However, the loss last night to Orlando without Paulo Banchero, and tonight's loss as they shot themselves in the foot with the miscues here kind of leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth as we welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors Postgame Live. NBA champion Festus Ezeli. That is Rod Brooks, a brother from another mother. I am Bonte Hill. And we were tracking the points in the paint. We were tracking the turnovers. Warriors were doing so well, just 8 turnovers in the first half as he fell. But we showed the graphic coming into this game on this road trip, turning the ball over 18 times per game. That number went up.
This is a tale of two halves, Bonte. All right, I actually don't have that sour of a taste in my mouth because you're coming into this game, you're losing Steph Curry, you're losing Jimmy Butler, you're losing Draymond Green. A lot of the bench players are playing big, heavy minutes, and Steve Kerr is really just trying to find a gem, trying to find a spark. I thought Pat Spencer was that spark for the Warriors in the first half, especially. Came into the game, played physically, set the tone, was getting steals, was getting out into the teeth of the defense, creating shots for his teammates. This is what you want. I say it all the time. You got to get into the teeth of the defense. You saw that in the first half. You saw what it created. Not only did they get great shots, the Warriors did, they also got offensive rebounds. TJD was killing it on the glass. They played an incredible first half. Second half, third quarter, same thing continued. They're doing the same thing. The fourth quarter told a totally different story. All right, Miami Heat came in. They were trying to attack the whole time. I think the Warriors got flustered in that second half, started turning the ball over, gave the Heat so much momentum, and they just could never recover the whole time around.
But what's disappointing to me is that all of the hard work that they did to get it to 74-72 Warriors after 3 quarters, they undid it in the fourth quarter. You know, the Heat, they finally started to get some points in the paint. They finally started to get to the basket. How did that happen? Mainly off of those Warrior turnovers. What was it, 9 in the fourth quarter? The Warriors only had 8 turnovers in the first half, and the Warriors on those 9 turnovers giving up 16 points. So to see the Warriors' season-long bugaboo feed into what the Heat needed to do and what they wanted to do, which is get to the paint, use their size, use their advantage. And we were talking as watching the game. It was crazy that the Heat were unable to do what they're equipped to do with their size. The Warriors out-rebounded them for a good portion of the game. You know, points in the paint, it was even after 3 quarters at 28, and then the Heat rip off 20 points in the paint. How did that happen? Or part of the reason that happened? Turnovers.
Turnovers.
But they played a hell of a game.
They played a hell of a game.
They gave Bonte hope, though. Bonte, you had hope there for a second.
You don't have a sour taste in your mouth after that one because it felt like if they just take care of the basketball, they could steal that game down in Miami. Miami was settling for a lot of 3-point shots to Rod's point. They weren't going to the basket. Next thing you know, they get some turnovers, they go to the rack, and they feel comfortable, and they feel they have a 21-4 run there in that fourth quarter to blow this game wide open. But let's start off with the second quarter here because the Warriors, look, this game was awful from the start for them. We thought, this could be done. Everybody could be icing and chilling in the second half. They were down 20-4 in the first 6 minutes of the game. They started the game 0 for 12 from the floor as Pat Spencer, though, changed the energy of this basketball game. And next thing you know, the Warriors going a 17-4 run in the first half. And what do you know, Rod? We've got a basketball game.
I mean, we cannot say enough, and we will not talk enough about Pat Spencer. He's the dude that lit the fuse. The Warriors were down 20-4 until Pat Spencer came in the first quarter at around 5:30. The Warriors eventually got it to within 9 to finish the quarter, and then they mashed the gas in the second with the shooting, with the ball movement, taking care of the basketball. They were bringing force to Miami, and I think Miami was unexpecting of it, and they seemed like they played that way.
Okay, you'll talk about Pat Spencer. I'm going to talk about the bigs.
Okay, let's do it.
The bench points tonight for the Warriors, 55 points. And you have to put in context the fact that the bench is starting tonight as well. So Pat Spencer comes in the game, Quentin Post comes in the game, Buddy Hield comes in the game. These guys made a huge impact. Gary Payton II as well. But I love the fact that QP played with such – he played like a big. He played like a big tonight. I love seeing the big fella get into it. This is why I don't have that bad a taste in my mouth, Bonte, because I love to see my big get that confidence that I wanted to see in this game. He was hitting great shots. He was contesting shots at the rim. He was rebounding. He was making the other bigs uncomfortable. Shoot, Khalil Ware was shooting threes tonight. He was not uncomfortable from the defensive pressure from the big man. That is what you want to see. That's the fight you want to see. That was that resilience that brought him back from 20-4. Now you wanted to see that the rest of the game.
Quentin Post with 19 points, a season high for him. Let's move into the third quarter, though, where the Warriors did get back into this game and briefly took a lead. They had a lead early in that fourth quarter there. You see, end of the third quarter, Warriors up 5. They're rolling. Then that's when Miami said, you know what, let's put a stop to this, as they began a 21-4 run to take control of this basketball game. But really, it was the Warriors' miscues. You see quick blow-bys right there, not protecting the paint. And then in the fourth quarter, Miami said, you know what, we're going to pull up from three, but we're also going to get to the paint. Fontecchio finally hit one. You don't like that foul right there by Buddy Hield. Stops the game, allows Miami to set their half-court defense. And from there, it was all Miami, Rob.
I mean, I was just going to say, give Miami credit, because once they got to this point in the game where they knew that they can take control, their two stars, their two best players, Bam Adebayo and Norman Powell, were absolutely fantastic in the fourth quarter.
Before we even got to this point, I think we can't say enough about the turnovers at this point in the game, because not only was Miami scoring on one end, the Warriors were having empty possessions. It was just miscues like this, trying to just dribble handoff, trying to pass it across court, and they were just like slipping and falling. Will Richard had one of those. It was just one of those where they lost the momentum and just could not get it back. And the Miami Heat, on the other hand, they were becoming the aggressors.
Miami plus 20 when it came to points off turnovers, 34-14 as the Warriors commit 23, and they're down 12 right there. And basically, a valiant effort, again, goes to waste. All that hard work, rebounding, going in the paint. Again, it was dead even when it came to points in the paint heading into the fourth quarter at 28 apiece. But the turnovers is something we've been talking about all season long, Fezzi.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because you see the Warriors can do it. You saw that in the first half. They only had 8 turnovers. In the second half, ending this game now with 23 turnovers, that is tough, Bonte.
Is it this simple? Just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
They're 1-9 on the season when they have more turnovers than their opponent. If they have less turnovers or equal, hey, they're undefeated.
Even those 8 turnovers in the first half, you were happy with them because some of them were just dead ball turnovers. In the second half, it was live ball turnovers, the ones that you can't stop in transition. Now the Miami Heat are getting going. They couldn't make shots from the three-point line, but now you're giving them easy shots. Now they're getting to the rim. They had 20 points, what you said, in the fourth?
Yes.
20 points in the paint in the fourth. That now leads to other guys getting hot from three, and it was just just uphill battle.
They're too good of a team, Miami, to give them that many possessions, especially easy possessions and easy baskets in the fourth quarter. That's going to kill you every single time.
And then Norman Powell got comfortable, right?
Yeah. That's what stars do. Norman Powell and Bam Adebayo. It was only a matter of time. You keep giving those guys the ball. You keep giving that team the ball. Eventually, the Rock is going to find itself in the hands of the two best players, Powell and Bam, and you saw it in the fourth.
And we see Norman Powell explode on the Warriors in these quarters before with the L.A. Clippers. 18-point quarters, 16-point quarters. Tonight in that fourth quarter, double digits for Norman Powell.
I got to give the Warriors a lot of credit. That first half, I thought they did a great job of contesting shots. You saw the Miami Heat miss a lot of layups at the rim. That's what happens when you put the pressure. That's what happens when you take care of the ball. That's what happens when you are the ones offensive rebounding and doing things like that. You become the aggressors. Once they took their foot off the gas pedal, now those guys came into the game. Now Bam came into the game in the fourth quarter, became the aggressor. Say the same thing about Norman Powell. Norman Powell is having a heck of a year this year. 25 points a game. He's just on attack the whole time, and you were waiting the whole time for him to get into the game. I thought the Warriors left an opening, and he just came in attack.
Yeah, he let the game come to him tonight in the fourth quarter to Norman Powell. But how about Pat Spencer? We discussed this in the pregame show. Somebody's going to earn some minutes tonight. It's an opportunity to impress the coaching staff and say, hey, I need to play.
There you go,
Vontae. You know what? Pat Spencer, I think, deserves some minutes moving forward. How about his game? A career high in assists and rebounds. His 11 points. All right? This guy almost messed around and dropped a triple-double. And again, Rod, as you pointed out, down 20-4, he entered the game and changed the tenor of this game. Matter of fact, the Warriors were a plus 14 when he was on the floor tonight.
He literally changed the tempo. He sped him up offensively a little bit, but it wasn't ragged. It wasn't scattershot. It was smart tempo, speeding up. And I don't think it's an accident that everybody started getting on the floor when Pat Spencer started getting on the floor. And I'm talking about literally getting on the floor. The energy and the intensity picked up. That's when we started to see the contest from the Warriors at the rim. That's when we saw cats getting dunked on. That's when we saw shots getting swatted at the rim. That's when we saw the Warriors forcing steals and forcing Miami turnovers. Pat Spencer set the tone tonight. The Warriors very easily could have tipped the king early when it was down 20-4. But Pat Spencer came in and immediately made a difference in tone, shifted it, and the Warriors fed off of that.
If I was in a street fight and I had to pick one guy from this Warriors roster to have my back, Pat Spencer is my guy.
All right.
Pat Spencer is my guy for sure. Yeah.
Neither one of us want to throw.
No, but I'll say, so that's what I'll see. What I saw from Pat Spencer tonight was he came in with energy. And though that energy was, 13 of the 24 assists were from him.
Yeah.
That energy was him taking that ball, swinging it around, getting guys open shots. But also that energy was attacking the paint, attacking the guys who were guarding him.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Smith, who was giving the Warriors a lot of fits to start the game. Once they put him on him, it was a mismatch.
Yep.
He was attacking that mismatch. And that, with his size, with his skill, he's a guy who's sitting on the bench just waiting for some minutes saying, I can't wait to get on the court.
I love the way he played .5 basketball.
Yeah.
Seemed like he was passing with guys in rhythm, stepping into their shots, just quick decisions for your
that's what I'm saying. As soon as he got in, you could see him speed things up, but it wasn't, I'm speeding up, I got to get rid of the ball, or I'm trying to get mine, and then when I can't, I'm just going to get rid of it. Once he got in, he started to push the pace, but he was very smart and decisive about how he wanted to get the ball around. And we were talking about Buddy Hield. How do you get Buddy Hield unlocked from three? And you said it, as we were watching the game. You want Buddy Hield to get that as the ball is being swung around to him, not necessarily off the bounce. That started when Pat Spencer got in the game.
That's right.
Very solid game for Pat Spencer. Again, 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. Would have been a first in his career here. All right, Andrew Wiggins. They didn't want you, Andrew Wiggins.